What's up, everybody? I'm here in the studio all on my own because nobody wanted to join me. So I am just going to record a video for you, let you know what's going on, what our workout is for the day, and apparently do it on my own, just, hanging out. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to start off with a warm-up. Warm-up is going to be done in place because we want to be sure to keep our social distancing, although if you're doing this from home, doesn't really matter. You can do whatever. But in case you wanted to go and, do this at the park or at the studio, here's what our social distancing warm-up is going to look like. We are doing 4 movements. We're doing jumping jacks. We're doing lateral lunges, high knees, and air squats. Those 4 movements. You're going to do 10 of each one, and we're just going to do that twice, just 2 times as a nice little warm-up, way to get the heart pumping, get the body warmed up, ready to rock and roll. So, 10 jumping jacks. Now, the key with the jumping jack, what a lot of people will end up doing with their jumping jacks is they'll hop out here and they'll land on straight legs, and then that's really hard on your knees. So instead, what I want you to do with your jumping jacks is I actually want you to land with a little bit of a bend. Slight bend in those knees. Don't let them come in here. That's not it. Keep them strong. Keep them outright, but have a slight bend in those knees. So 10 jumping jacks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then we're going to do lateral lunges. Lateral lunges is going to work on warming up the hip area, down into the quads and hamstrings. So what's going to happen is you're going to step out to the side. Step out to the side. Make sure to take a nice big step. Go to that lateral lunge as far as you can go. Now the key here, as always, is to keep your weight over your heel. Don't let that weight come forward so that your knees over your toes. Keep that weight back in your heels. So you're coming down to one side, back up, bring it together. Other side, weight's back in my heel, my knee is behind my toes, back up to the top. You're doing 10 of those in each direction. Keep your chest up, back nice and strong. 10, or 5 in each direction, 10 total. Then we're going to 10 high knees. This is 10 on each leg, so you're going 20 total here. 10 on each leg. High knees, you're getting that knee up, right? Knee up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and so on and so forth. 10 on both legs, 20 total. Make sure to get those knees nice and high. We're getting that heart rate up. Then you're finishing off with air squats. Those air squats, I want you to be sure to keep your back nice and flat, chest up. I don't want to see this. That isn't it. Back is strong, chest is up. Your air squat means that you're squatting nothing but the air. You aren't adding any extra weight. You're not doing anything crazy. Bringing those legs down to parallel with the floor. Back up. Weight is in my heels, not in my toes. 10 of each movement, 2 rounds. Then we're going to stretch. That stretch doesn't have to be anything too crazy. You can do a lot of the stretching that you would do for any one of your normal dance classes. We want to work on hamstrings. Nice, strong hamstring stretch. Remember to keep that back nice and flat. Your knees straight, reaching for the ground. I don't want to see any heads bent over. This is going to hurt your neck. You're extending your neck in a way that it's not supposed to be done. Keep that back nice and flat. Reach for the floor. You can do that if you want to get those hamstrings a little bit stronger. You can actually take one leg across in front, and do that same stretch. You can see my one leg's in front, do the same stretch. That back leg is going to force it to stay nice and strong, nice and straight, and that'll get you a little bit deeper hamstring stretch. If you're going to do that one, make sure to do it on both legs. Make sure to get your quads, really good quad stretch. You can either do the standing quad stretch right here. You can also do the floor quad stretch, which we've done before. That's where you're down here on the floor. Knee is going to the floor, right? One knee stays up, one knee pushes to the floor. If your knee is touching the floor, that means you need to move your hands back and push your hips up, all right? Do some arm stretches, do some back stretches. Don't worry, we're gonna also do some back stretching later in the workout. We're actually going to finish off with something really, really focused on your spinal strength and flexibility. This is for you people who are doing acro especially. Good for everybody, but if you want to be really, really successful in acro, those things are going to be what's going to be the most helpful in making sure you have the ability to flex your spinal column, but also being able to have a strong spinal column simultaneously. So we're going to do that here at the end of the workout. First though, it's time to do the real thing, the real workout. We're starting off with a Tabata. Now, if you don't remember what a Tabata it is a series of movements that you do in repetition. Each Tabata today, we will be doing the second two we'll be doing 3 times. The first one is actually for time. This is going to be called a +1 Tabata, a +1 Tabata. So we're going to do 4 movements for our +1 Tabata, and what you're going to do is you're going to do 1 rep of each movement the first round. So for instance, I have push-ups, V-ups, squat jumps, and burpees. Okay? So that means round 1, I'm going to hit go, and you're doing this for 7 minutes. Round 1, I'm going to hit go, and I'm going to do 1 push-up. Remember to keep your body in a nice straight line. I don't want butts coming up in the air. I don't want them sagging down to the ground. Nice, strong push-up, flat body. Then I'm going to go to a V-up, So I'm in that nice long position. Arms are straight, legs are straight, toes are pointed. I'm coming all the way up, back down. 1. That's all I got to do. I just have to do 1. No big deal. Then I'm doing a squat jump. So once again, it's that air squat, but this time, adding in a jump at the top. Finish it off with that burpee. That's all the way down to the ground, all the way down. Coming back up, hop those feet up beside your hands. Finish with a jump. 1 of each movement for the first round. Now what a +1 Tabata is where you actually do round 2, you're doing 2 of each of those movements. 2 push-ups, 2 V-ups, 2 jump squats, and 2 burpees. Guess what round 3 is? +1. 3 of each, 4 of each, 5 of each. See how many rounds you can get done in 7 minutes. It's gonna go really fast at first. You're gonna get to around 3 or 4, you're gonna be like, this is the easiest workout I've ever done. Then you're gonna hit round 6, and you're gonna wonder what in the world happened between 4 and 6. It's gonna get tough, it's gonna get hard fast. Take breaks when you need it. If you need to breathe, breathe. If you need water, get some water. Whatever you need to do, take a break, all right? Tabata number 2. Tabata number 2 is going to be all about endurance. Endurance. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do movements that just challenge the endurance of the muscle, right? That's all we're working on, endurance of the muscle. So we're going to do 4 movements, and we're going to do this 3 times. 4 movements, 3 rounds. The entire Tabata, the 4 movements, is going to be squat pulses, movement number 1, arm flutters, movement number 2, 30 seconds of a wall sit, and 30 seconds of a push-up plank. That's that low plank, but I want to call it a push-up plank just to kind of give an example that you don't have to be all the way down there, right? You can be up higher. It's anywhere in the range of a push-up, that's a push-up plank. So here we go. First and foremost, you have 40 squat pulses. That's not all the way down, not all the way up. You're going somewhere right in between. Nice, easy squat pulse. You're going 40 of these, all right? The first 20, maybe 30, they'll go pretty quick. You're just pulsing. There's nothing too crazy happening. We're keeping our weight back in our heels. You should be able to see, maybe you can see if you zoom in, my toes are up off the ground right now, okay? You're doing 40 of these, weight back, chest up, back flat, 40 total. Once you're done with that, you're going straight into arm flutters. Now this is just like those flutter kicks, only I'm going front and back. My arms are super, 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 super straight. They have to be as straight as possible, and I just want you to go in and out. Really, really simple, 40 of them. Now, I don't want to see your arms coming down here. This isn't it. Straight out like a T. Right there, as straight as you possibly can, working on endurance. The first round of this Tabata should go pretty quickly, pretty easily. Shouldn't be that much of a problem, right? Because these movements are pretty simple. They're not something that would be too difficult to do if you were not doing them 3 times and adding in our wall sit and push-up plank. Now for that wall sit, you're going to need to find a flat surface. I won't sit up against the mirror because I don't want to leave, a mark from my sweat on there. But you're going to find yourself a flat surface. You're going to sit down up against that flat surface, trying to get your legs down to parallel. Hold that for 30 seconds, right? That's all you have to do. You just sit up against the wall, hold it for 30 seconds. Next one is that push-up plank. Now, once again, just to alliterate what the difference is between a push-up plank and a low plank. A low plank is where you have to be low, right? You can modify it by coming up. You can modify it by coming up and having different levels. But this, I wanted to really reiterate that it doesn't have to be really, really low. You can do this anywhere in between. So by the third round, you might only have a tiny little bend in your arms, right? That might be all the more bend you have. But so long as you're keeping your core straight, I don't want to see any of this, none of this. As long as everything is in a straight line and you're holding that plank nice and strong, you're doing it. That's it. That's all you got to do. Those 4 movements, 3 rounds. That's about endurance. So when your body starts to just burn like crazy, that's your opportunity to get better. That's your opportunity to push through that burn and to take a step towards becoming better. All right? The last Tabata, we're doing 3 Tabatas today. The last Tabata is going to be our resistance Tabata. Resistance Tabata. This is all about finding the strength to actually resist the movement you're doing. Seems kind of strange, seems kind of odd. I'll explain what we're doing. First one is going to be a 3-second push-up. 3-second push-up. What that means is you're going to do a push-up for 3 seconds all the way down. That's right, you have to move nice and slow all the way down. 3 seconds up. So that push-up's going to go down, 2, 3, up, 2, 3, down, 2, 3, up, 2, 3. Nice and slow. It's all about finding that resistance to the movement. You're doing the movement, but you control every single inch of that movement. You're doing 6 of those. Then you're going to move on to 6 resistance squats. Same thing. 3-second squat. That's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Fighting that tension and that burn in your legs. We've done a few Tabatas now. Everything should be feeling pretty good. So you want to feel that burn and you want to push through that burn. Control the movement in both directions. After our 3-second squats, we have scissor kicks, and then finally a pause crunch. Now those scissor kicks, what's going to happen is you're going to pause. So you're going to kick up and hold. 2, 3, switch, 2, 3, switch, 2, 3, switch, 2, 3. Holding that pause in between is gonna burn. Stick with it. Let your body shake a little bit, and it's gonna be fine. You're gonna get better. Finally, we're finishing it off with a pause crunch. You're in your crunch position. This is not a sit-up, so I don't want you to come all the way up. We're going to come up, feel that engagement of the core, feel everything tighten up, and pause. 2, 3, down, up, pause. 2, 3, down, up, pause. 2, 3. Really, really challenge yourself to push in that engagement and to crunch up those core muscles as much as you possibly can. We're doing 6 of each movement, okay? That means you're doing 6 of those 3-second push-ups, 6 3-second squats, 6 each leg of the scissor kicks, and 6 total on the pause crunch. Okay, we're doing that 3 times, 6 total of each movement 3 times. That's our final Tabata. Now to finish this off, we're going to do some yoga poses focused on the spinal column, really working on flexibility and strength. Now there's going to be a little progression. We have 5 movements. Each movement you should hold for 30 to 45 seconds, depending on what you feel comfortable with. You need to listen to your body in yoga. Okay, that's the most important thing with yoga. You have to listen to your body. If your body says, hey, nope, I'm done, I've had enough, it's okay. Let it relax, let it kind of just calm down a bit, and then come back into it. There's no sense in pushing it. There's no sense in trying to overexert your body after you've already done a workout. This is all about just putting that finishing touch on it. So, our 5 movements are going to be movement number 1, hip bridge. For the hip bridge, you're going to lay on your back like you just were in the crunch position. Lay on your back with your knees pointed up to the sky, hands on the floor, and you're just going to bring your hip up. That's it, hip bridge right there. The key here is squeezing your gluteus maximus, your buttocks. Squeeze that, get your hips nice and high. Try and get that to be as flat as possible from your shoulders to your knees, okay? Hold this for 30 seconds. This should start to warm up your lower back where it connects to your glutes. That little area right there, we're starting to warm that up, get it going, get it moving. Hold it 30 to 45 seconds. From here, you're going to release that. You're going to sit up, and you're actually going to put your hands behind you, but leave your knees on the floor. We're going to a tabletop position. Tabletop position. This is going to work once again on your core strength, really getting the spine nice and warm. It's going to be very similar to the hip bridge, but we're starting to get the shoulders a little bit more involved. So, to do a tabletop, what you do is you bring your hips up just like you just did. Try and get a nice flat table. This is going to work on a little bit of shoulder flexibility, right? If this is uncomfortable, that's okay. Just come back on down here. You can either do an elbow bridge, or you can just do that hip bridge once more. If you can, try and do that tabletop, okay? That's going to really work on shoulder flexibility, also getting that spine nice and strong. Remember, squeeze your glutes, get your hips up. Don't let it sag. No one wants to eat at a table that sags in the middle. You want to eat at a nice, flat table. Nice, flat, strong table, okay? 30 to 45 seconds. The third movement is going to be everybody's favorite, the bridge. You all know how to do this one. Similar to the tabletop, only our hands go behind our shoulders now. So you press up into that bridge, get a nice strong bridge. I'm sure most of you should be able to do a much, much better bridge than what I'm doing. So I want to see those good bridges. That's right, you can take pictures, you can share videos. Nice, strong, strong bridge. The fourth movement is going to be a candlestick. Candlestick. Now, in order to do this, you're going to actually roll back on the shoulders, trying to get your toes as far up to the sky as you can. So that candlestick is right there. If you want, you can always bring those hands down here. It's going to take a little extra core strength, or you can support yourself just like this. Toes to the sky, trying to get everything in as straight of a line as possible. That's movement number 4. Really working on the core strength, the spinal strength. Keep pushing, keep digging deep. 30 to 45 seconds. The last movement is going to be the most challenging movement. It's going to create the biggest opportunity for spinal stretching, right? We're really going to work on stretching out your spine and the muscles around there. So with this movement, I need you to listen to your body and pay very close attention to it, and don't do something that's going to hurt yourself, okay? Be smart about it. Listen to your body and do whatever your body says is enough, or whatever it is for you, find that, settle in on it. What we're going to do is called the plow pose, P-L-O-U-G-H, plow pose. What's going to happen is you're going to go kind of like you're in the candlestick, but you're actually going to let your legs hang over the top. Hang over the top. So it's going to look like this. Now, if this is all the further you can go, that's perfectly fine. Arms are straight, legs are back here. I feel a nice stretch along my spine. That's perfectly fine. If you want to make this a little bit easier, bend those knees. That'll reposition the weight, bring it that close to your body. You won't have to try and really feel as much pressure on your spine and also there where it connects into your hips. But if you want to really try something and push yourself, get those legs nice and straight and try to get your feet on the ground. If you can get legs straight, feet on the ground, that will be a great stretch and workout for your spine, the plow pose. Once again, 30 to 45 seconds. If you can get your feet on the ground and then it starts to be too much before your timer goes off, so you need to pick those feet back up, that's perfectly fine. That's listening to your body. Do what your body says. Hey, I'm comfortable with this. Push it within the realm of comfortability. It's a fine line, right? It's a really difficult thing to do, but find that spot where you feel comfortable with the movement. You're pushing yourself to become better, but you're not pushing yourself to an injury. Very fine line between those two things. Once you've finished up that plow pose, it's time for our cool down. It's time for recovery. So that means that I want you to just do some nice easy stretching. I want you to do something like the butterfly pose, the cat-calf pose. That would be really good for your spine. Doing things like a simple windmill, doing things like the swan dive. All of those types of poses are going to help your body just to kind of settle back into a natural rhythm, to catch your breath, to get your heart rate back down to a normal rate. All of those recovery stretches are going to help you recover from this workout you just did. Thank you all so much. Hopefully next week I'll be able to hang out with a couple of you here at the studio. And until that time, have a great week. Later, everybody.